What is up, YouTube? Spencer K here, and I'm back for another video. Only this time I am back in Nations 1.0 in creative mode. If you guys did not see my most recent skyscraper tutorial, I did make a copy of the world, and this is what we use to play mini golf, horse racing, and tutorials now, as well as I guess a little showcase. It's going to make it easier for me to fly around, move around, to show you guys as much as I need to. I'm going to be going to almost every nation and giving you a little tour. I was going to make this a tour / history lesson of that nation, but the history part was taking way too long. So if you guys would like to see that, I'll make that a separate video about different nations or all the nations in one, give like a basic rundown of the world. This world is over a year old, so there has been a lot of stuff to happen in it since it started. Alrighty guys, as I hopefully said in the beginning, I am here in my own nation, and in this episode we are only going to be touring the Chicken Nation. Now the Chicken Nation has a lot of history, a lot of fun facts, and a lot of statistics that are just impressive. Some of these statistics are just its land mass. Now guys, I'm going to put a picture up when I'm done talking here of just the land mass. It'll be outlined in white. This is the largest nation in the entire world. This nation is so big, it has had over 10 states come and go, and over 30 citizens come and go. For comparison guys, I think the next largest nation to have this many states had 2 or 3. It's tremendous. Most of these have left, leaving their old states in the national government's control, which is my control, and most of it's being turned into like a museum or like a tour place, and it's really being taken control of. Most of the land that's owned has actually got something built on it. It's got something going on there, so it's not all just empty land. But we're going to go ahead, and before I get into some more statistics of what this nation has, others don't, we're going to go ahead and do a quick tour of the capital city. This is the capital city. This is my house. We're the only nation with a mini golf course at all. We're the only nation with even one hole of a mini golf course. Which sounds like, why is that cool? A lot of people actually love coming on and playing and competing. We're actually in the middle of a mini golf tournament right now. I think I have about half of my friends have done it so far. I got another half to go. Hopefully that'll be a video coming out. It's an 18-hole golf course. Takes about an hour to complete if you got a couple friends online as well. It's super fun. It actually works. Let me go ahead and show you. We'll use diamonds because we're rich and fancy up here in the Chicken Nation. It's got ice underneath the carpet, so it actually slides. So sometimes, let me see if I can find one. Sometimes it can be a bit more challenging, and you have to be strategic about it. And sometimes your ball placement, or your block placement, we'll call it, may not work out as well. As like if you were right here, you want to try to get it over there because the hole's over there. Now you could take the long way, but that's not as fun. So you could try to risk it, bada bing, bada boom. But oh, it's gonna stay up. So it's really fun. It gets competitive, especially when you got bragging rights on the line of over 30 people, which is always a fun thing. But this is probably one of the coolest things in the world, in my opinion. It's nations, and I've owned a nation back in, I think it was 4.0, that was about the size of only this golf course. And now I get enough land I can build a golf course, so that's cool. It's a fun thing to do in nations. It's not all war and griefing. I don't know why the Pistons are on hole 18. They shouldn't be. Voice crack. They shouldn't be. This is like a hole where you try to get it a hole in one. Obviously I didn't get it, did I? No, I got a hole in 3. But yeah, let me turn those off. There. Done. It's not all war and all griefing. We do a lot of fun things. I'll get over to my horse racetrack here in a little bit. It's massive. It's fun. I hope I finish it. I got a couple houses of dogs. There's some dogs and cats that live in these, I believe. Yep, got some dogs and cats. That's where they live, because I got quite a bit of dogs. Here are the embassies. I am the only nation to have invited this many embassies into my land and stay. I think the next closest is going to be Coolguy at 3. Coolguy has 3. I believe he's in 2nd place. Dan has 1. And yeah, I think it's Coolguy in 3. Let's see if I can name all the flags, alright? Coolguy, dash, money, that's empty. Dan, fuck, I got this. I got this. Hold up. I'll come back to that one. I'll come back. Oregon. That's Oregon. Right? Yeah. That's Oregon. Runty. I gotta fix his flag. He built it too high. So that's Runty. Ravens. Armegedon. Hacker. Yes. I got them all. Heck yeah. So I should be able to know all of them. About 3 or 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these are brand new. 4 of these did not exist about a week ago. I finally got those 4 up here. I still got a couple more to go. I got to get Kaiser. Out of all people, Kaiser, really? Yeah, I got to get Kaiser up here. I think that's going to be it. I don't know if there's anyone else I'm missing. Kaiser, Lee, those are the only 2 I don't have up here so far. So, yeah, I have a total of, it looks like to be 9 embassies, and the next closest is 3. That is another huge bragging right that I am glad that I can say, because I recently, especially, I've been pushing world powers and other nations to start doing embassies and to get closer in a trade. So having this many and then also asking that, I think it's a good way to hopefully get it to work. Now here I have 2 clay towers. Back when there was a huge duplication glitch, I did get some duplicated clay. I'm not even going to try to lie to you guys. But most of it, I want to say 1 full tower is fully legit clay, because there's a huge clay trade going on for a long time. And that would be the legit one, by the way, because that one was built first. But there was a huge clay trade. I'd give people whatever they really wanted for clay. And I just stockpiled, because you can, before the duplication glitch, I had needed clay for all my roofs, but I got so much clay, and I got it in block form, because in ball form it takes up more inventory space. So I got it in block form, so I'd have to break it down into clay balls in order to smelt them into brick. And so I'd place them. And over time, I just slowly started creating a tower. And soon I made it a mission to build a tower all the way up to here. I thought it'd be cool. And now I have 2 of them. And I will not have 2. I might build 2 more over here. That'd look pretty gangster. I'm not even going to try to lie. But I won't. I don't have the patience for that. But now I have 2 of them. And I think they're pretty cool. We launched Runty's plane off of here. His plane is in that direction somewhere, still flying. I have to go get that in survival mode. But we tried to launch a plane and it did not work. We fell off. Over here we're going to have a hotel being built. This design was actually going to be built over by the racetrack, but for whatever reason I decided to build it here like a numbnuts piece of crap. Over here is the building I just did in a tutorial. Hopefully this tutorial comes out before this, otherwise that won't be as cool. These are 3 more buildings that I shall also hopefully build in tutorials. But all these buildings have a purpose. Those clay buildings were built so that I can mine them down into clay balls to smelt. This is a hotel for, people to come that only want to stay a short amount of time up here in the capital, that don't have an embassy. Maybe if they have some citizens, if an embassy leader comes up and they can legally, because it's their embassy, they can let them stay there. But if they don't want to, they can have them stay in the hotel room, and it's most likely going to be free. I don't see why I won't make it free. I'm a nice guy. Just as long as they don't grief or change up the inside, yeah, it's completely free. Here we have the Capitol building where I'll manage world relations from and type of deal. Kind of, maybe, I don't know. This building and that building are kind of combined. There's no real distinguish between the 2. This one is the world relations building. This one kind of has some stuff stored in it to give away to other people, but so does this one. So they kind of work together. This one just looks cooler and is taller. But this one has maps and stuff in it. So this one might be like a world navigation building. This one may be world relations building coming up soon. Right next to that one, the circular one, I have the World Center of Trade, or my stock exchange building. Up inside it, I have all my well, not all of my currency, but some currency somewhere up in it. So go ahead and try to rob that. I dare you. Also, I used to have. I got rid of most of it. I think I did on all the floors. I'm just going to break up because I'm not saving. I used to have signs with all the prices of goods on them, but now I've upgraded to a Google Docs because it's easier to update than signs. So it's also a stock market, which is another really huge part of the thing coming up, especially with the new currency. The new currency is going to be ores, like diamond ore, iron ore, the ores. This type of stuff. Like all this is currency now. So if this was real, I would be really fucking rich with all this. But it's really cool because you can't duplicate it as far as I know. And, you know, it brings mining back into the game. Everyone should have a silk touch. If not, I'm giving them away to everyone who wants to do the currency. Because I'm really huge on trying to get the economy back flowing. Because it's kind of been slow recently. It's just been every man for himself. Here I have the National Bank, or International Bank. This is an international bank. If other nations want to come here and store stuff, they can. At the moment, I do not suggest it. I think I'm going to change it to just a national bank because I have some goods in the bottom. I wanted to fill it up because no one else was using it. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of trade or trust, so no one's really come here and taken up my offer. It's free to store stuff here, and I have a 100% insurance policy, so if it gets stolen while it's under my control, I have to come up with goods to replace it, no matter what it is. Otherwise, we have to settle on something. So, yeah, that's kind of a neat thing, but no one's taking me up on the offer. I might build another bank because this one is kind of getting full. But then we move on to the more industrial part of the capital. I got all my buildings, like, the further that way it goes, the cooler I think it gets. We got the skyscrapers and the embassies, and then the golf course. Over here, we have more of the industrial places of storage for blocks. I got the horses that we'll use for racing and or workhorses, such as transport. I got some sheep. A lot of them died for whatever reason. Oh. Really? All of them died? That's cool. Well, I used to have a lot of sheep in there, and that's where I got a lot of the wool. But I guess I have none. There's a plane right up there if you see that speck in the sky. Right above my cursor right now, kind of. Yeah, that's the plane. We got some apartments for citizens that live here in the capital. And also, you know, maybe some of my citizens visiting from the main city. It looks like we're going to do 2 episodes of just my nation. There's quite a bit to see, guys. Quite a bit to see. My nation is, in building-wise, is bigger than all the others combined in just building. So that's not just land, but I've also taken up enough room building-wise. So I'm not playing. I really do have a really big place. And before I get into the rest of the industrial, I realized I missed a couple buildings. 2 right here. This is not an embassy. This is a minecart. Why is there no door? This is a minecart building that'll take you to my main city, my old industrial city. And then this is a villager hut, which I guess I killed all the villagers for lag because this is a mini golf world. And I guess I didn't want lag. So there used to be about 7 villagers in here. And you could trade with them. You could show up to my capital if you told me, gave me a warning, come and trade with them as long as you didn't hurt them. And it was a super cool deal. And yeah, so we'll take that there. Why is there a block missing? That's cool. Okay, here we have some snowmen. There used to be a chicken farm there. Excuse me. We got a little enchantment building where I manage enchantment stuff. There's so much stuff in this city. I destroyed all the chests. I just realized that's maybe how the sheep died too. There's so many chests here that you would have a frame lag all the time. I would constantly. And it was terrible. But all these buildings have a certain purpose, whether they're storage, building, crafting, sorting. This is an obsidian farm. This is a cake factory type deal, like bakery, whatever you want to call it. I have enough good. I used to have enough goods in there to make cakes, but not anymore, I guess. Here's a little village I've been trying to make. I'm trying to make a makeshift village. I got a little village farm over there. Not farm, a village building. But they seem sad, so I wanted to build a little village. And all these buildings I've built myself. They were not here, so I had to go on Google Images and try to do my best to recreate them. And I thought this is the entrance. It's kind of neat. This is also where I changed the zombie villagers in. They come in here, fall down. I'll run in, and before they get to me, bam! I shut it on them. And they're stuck in there. I throw the potion in the apple, and it's kind of cool. And it looks like a blacksmith from the outside, so that was kind of a neat design. That was accidental, but I think it's cool. We got that. There's an underground and above ground way to get throughout my places on rails. This is the above ground one. I guess we'll call it a transit. The other one's, I guess, a subway. It's not really a subway. It's more of a shipping rail for minecart chests and whatnot. But we'll go ahead and follow this one. Not all the way. If you take it that way, it should take you to one of my states, 2 of my states. Well, one of them. The other one's kind of off to the right. Doesn't really go by it. This is a national park. This is the only national park in the world. And there's dirt here for reasons I don't know. But this is a national park. It extends all the way down to here. I was going to build a campsite and a couple other stuff. It's really cool. I mean, this back when the capital was expanding industrial-wise really quickly, I saw this forest, and I saw like a couple of hills and some spruce and this dark oak, and I think there was a little valley here that was kind of neat. And I was like, I really don't want this to change, like this mountain range. I don't want this to get mined down. I don't want this to become industrialized. I'd like to have a really, really big place here just to call little national park, national forest. And I think it ends about right here. The national forest will hook around here, and this mountain range is kind of the. Let's see where my fences are. There should be fences starting up right about here. Or maybe not. I know it's not that far out. Oh well. Maybe it is. Here they are. There's the fences. So yeah, it doesn't get the whole thing, but it's kind of cutting through to keep some. Obviously, I wanted to have a little space between the subway or transit from the forest. But yeah, I'm the only one with dedicated land for that. I'm not the only one with enough land to do that, but I'm probably the only one with enough land that I really don't care if I do it or not. Some people might decide they don't want it to be a national park. But alrighty guys, that's going to pretty much finish it up on the capital. Now we have spent this much time just on one of my cities. I got several. We're going to go ahead and I'll meet you down at the industrial. Actually, I lied guys. I don't want to do that because there's so much stuff to see between here and there. I've been building highways all around the world. This one goes from my capital almost all the way down to my main city. Not quite there yet, but we're going to go ahead and follow this above ground rail all the way there. Actually, we'll take the highway. They both basically go the same way. The above ground rail changes direction right here, and this one will take you to the horse track, and this one will take you to the main city. There's none that goes straight. It's just left or right. We're going to go ahead and go to the main city real quick. Not as much to see here. It's a lot smaller, but it's almost big enough where you can see both of them in the same shot. Not quite, I don't think. There's that, and yeah, not quite. We're getting close. Yeah, there's kind of you see it, kind of you see it. So they're close. They used to be where you couldn't see them at all by a long time, like far, far away. So we got a sugarcane farm coming up here. It's small compared to Pharaoh's land. It's tiny. It's sad. We got some farm towers here in case my citizens want food or whatever. I got a couple more to make as well because I think there's some new plants. PredTech industry building. I'd love for them to get back on and help me with my sand or like issues. We got an enchantment building. I had one of these in the capital as well. It's just a public enchant room. Here's the shipping building as I walked into the other one. These still have a lot of the stuff because it's not as laggy over here. But yeah, that'll take you to the capital. That'll take you to the states. This one will take you to Coolguy eventually. Not quite done. One of these will take you to Ravens. I think this one. Yeah, this one will take you to Ravens. And then one over here will take you to Dan. So I am working on a lot of infrastructure with roads and railroads. I am #1 at that as well, which is another huge bragging right, which I am proud of. Got a little military base. This was back when this city was the biggest in the world, when there was about 5 guard towers and these 2 buildings and a couple of houses. This was the biggest building. The capital city had my house and like 2 other buildings, and it was tiny. So it was back when this was the main one. I wanted to protect it, have a little watch station, and it's turned out to not be needed at all because my nation stretches across this ocean. So that's cool. Back over here, we have another little villager hut. One huge thing I've realized is that my citizens and people throughout the world are huge with trading with villagers, and they love the villagers, so I've tried to make as many as I can. I'm up to 3. I'm going to work on a 4 or 5 in a 4th and a 5th in the States. And let's go ahead and come up over here. We got a little storage building. I need to change that to stone. I don't like wood up top. I like stone up top. That was my fault. I got beets growing too, if anyone needs beets. Oh, is it all the way? Oh, I didn't think it was. Over here we have my citizens' housing. This is like a little apartment to start them off. It's free for them to live in. Each new citizen gets one to live in. They all have one. Ray, I think they're all full actually, except one. Maybe one right here. Yeah, one of these is taken. I think this one's taken. But it's free. And it's, you know, if they want to live here, start up an industry. I'm huge on trying to get my citizens to start up a business of their own and get supplies, because I'll pay them big bucks, especially with the new currency. Here's an old mine. This used to be a state, believe it or not. This little land, this mountain, this little forest, this lake, this whole area where these houses are, that over there used to be a state. Can't remember whose state it used to be, but it used to be someone's state. And he was my first state. Can't remember. I'm kind of upset about that. But he never got back online after the first day. And so when he built his state, I started building the city. And actually, we started the same day. I was like, yo, I'll build a city next to your state. It'll be cool. He never got back on, and I wanted some housing for new people to come in because more people were joining without houses. It was on easy and on or normal or hard, whatever difficulty, and they were dying, and I felt bad. So I built these on his state. I've still kind of respected this hill as his. I haven't touched it, and I honestly don't think anyone's taken his items. Yeah, no, everyone's kept his items there. So, so that's kind of happened, and it's almost gotten to each other. The roads probably will here real soon. Right over here is Kaiser's old state. Kaiser's old state was something he had worked on for a couple of days after his place was griefed, and he didn't want to be a nation anymore. He is now a nation, so he's left. He still has a lot of his stuff, but as always, I've respected his claim here, and I most likely will not do anything to it, except the dirt. Dirt was pissing me off. Nah, but that's his old state. Now, guys, the last thing I'm going to show you in this video is going to be the horse racetrack. My sister owns a state in that direction. That's where the one rail was going to go, but it's really nothing but a little house, and hasn't played more than about an hour on it, so it's really not worth a tour yet. But there is one over there. We're going to go ahead and go over to the horse racetrack. For those of you who have not seen it, it is the largest racetrack in the world. Why is that there? Okay, I just missed there. It is the largest horse racing track in the world, and it's not even done. So here it is. It's huge. It's massive. It's incredible. Once it's done, it's gonna be fun to race. It's gonna circle around about, I want to say right about here. It'll be circled around, and that'll be the size of it. It's a huge racetrack, and it's made for horse racing. I got a lot of work to do. Even in creative mode, it is a pain in the ass to mine down, especially with efficiency not working. It sucks. I have a huge grandstands on this side. I'm going to have grandstands on this side, as well as a hotel back here for all the people to stay, horse thing, little diners and whatnot. It's going to be a whole little town over here eventually. Sadly, I'm going to be gone before I even start on that, but still, it's a thought that counts. This much being done as well is massive. Little museum fact up here. This is where the first plane in the world was launched. Runty launched a plane from here all the way back to Organ's Land, back when the L.O.S. still existed. In where Brady is now, the L.O.S. still exists, but it's not where it used to be. It's a different nation, different point, different people type of deal. So guys, I apologize for making this first episode super long. I know once I go through all the states and I go through all the other nations, it won't be as long. This one's just bigger than all the rest combined. It's got a lot of stuff in it. I mean, it's mine, so I know more about it. It's massive. But other than that, guys, I hope you did enjoy. Wow, this is cool. I forgot I built this. It's a little station for, little station for the track to get off. That's neat. All right. But as I was saying, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please hit that like button. Hope you guys do enjoy these episodes, and I'll talk to y'all next time.